Okay, how's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a video on Berserk. I'm going to be talking about the latest arc, the most recent arc. Nah, not in its completion, but the one that we're currently in right now, and that is the Fantasia arc. It's unfortunately unfinished because of the fact that Kentaro Miura passed away, I think 2020 or early 2021, around there. And God rest his soul, because he passed away around chapter 364. That was the last chapter that he worked on. And man, it's rough. When I was reading that chapter, I got really emotional. It was rough, man. Like, I finished it today. I finished catching up to the entirety of this manga today. I apologize for not uploading yesterday, as in Saturday. I'm dating this video, but whatever, because I was busy and all that, so I wasn't able to finish it. I wanted to upload it yesterday, but we'll just go with the flow of life, right? So, God rest his soul to Kentaro Miura. Man, it's rough. It's really rough. But yeah, so I'm gonna be talking about this arc, and just overall, there's gonna be some Berserk videos coming out. Excuse me, Berserk videos coming out in the future, just about maybe like a tier list on all the arcs or characters or the Band of the Hawk, or just about the manga itself and how how it's impacted me as I've been reading it, because I do have a lot to say about this manga. The same way that I was talking about like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Like, I have a lot to speak about on this one, because it's a lot to unpack. Like, a lot. It's the same way that I would talk about One Piece and just ramble on about it and what I would want to talk about. So be prepared for videos like that to come out. I'm gonna try to spread them out, but I'm gonna be recording a lot of them. So just be on the lookout for that. And also, my niece is really loud. She is a happy 2 year old, and she expresses that with just screaming completely. So I apologize if you guys hear her in the background, but what can you do, right? Children are gonna be children. Might as well not get mad over it. So, Berserk, Fantasia. If I have to get, well, I want to specify this. I can't give a rating to it because the arc isn't done. I'm literally going to be talking about an arc that isn't finished, that isn't complete whatsoever. So I'm not going to be giving it a rating, but I will speak on how I feel about it. Spoiler free for this section. I think it's great. I think it's generally great. This might be, if when it finishes, it might be my favorite arc in the entire manga, because you have Golden Age, right? And I've talked about it on end. I gave it my rating. It's a 10, all that stuff. But ever since Golden Age, all the arcs that have come after it, I've only changed my opinion on one of them, but not none of them have come to how I feel about Golden Age in a way that I could describe it. But Fantasia already feels like, yo, this arc is gonna be amazing, no doubt. Like, as a personal favorite, it's probably gonna be my favorite by the end of the series. But as like the best, I feel like it's definitely gonna be the best, no doubt. It's just looking so good already. The characters are awesome, the scenes are awesome, the land is awesome. The world of Berserk just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's just so much depth behind everything that's happening in this manga right now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every page, every panel, every sentence, every sweet wholesome moment, every horrible depressing moment. It's like, man, when I was reading this, I didn't think that I would get so invested into a manga that's, on the outset, it seems very depressing and hard to read sometimes because of how dark it can get. But once I dipped my toe into the water, I realized, like, yo, nah, this is it. On the surface, if I can use an analogy, the waters look murky, right? They look dark, they look murky and dirty. But once you go underneath, you'll see the true beauty in the water, which, funnily enough, because the sea is a horrifying place. I don't, uh, if anything, you would see it like in the clouds, but, but yeah. So what's it called? It's, you just gotta look underneath. You gotta look. Basically, don't judge a book by its cover, is what I'm trying to say. So, if anything, if any of you have been interested in reading this, I recommend it. Just, there is a content warning. Definitely be aware of that. The beginning of Berserk, like, I feel like the first 100 and something chapters, like 177, from like the beginning all the way to conviction arc, are pretty gruesome. They get kind of wild. They do get kind of wild. So just be aware of that. And once you read it, as crazy as it sounds, it really is just getting desensitized to it. But it's not like it's egregiously bad. It's not like, oh, you have to get past this. No, like it's when you see it, you'll understand. Basically, it's hard to explain. At least I'm not doing it a service. Basically, this is one of the best manga I've ever read. That's all I can really say. So if I'm recommended like that, then just think about it for a little bit. Is all I'm trying to say. But now let's get into the spoiler stuff. You've been warned. You shouldn't be here if you don't want to get spoiled. If you don't care, then welcome aboard. But Fantasia picks up directly after Millennium Falcon, and I mean directly after because we're seeing Guts right after it. But it's awesome. I really love the way that Fantasia starts because we get to see Guts go to Alfheim. We see all of them just going there, getting acclimated with the area, and just learning more about the fairies and overall just the world of magic and everything. So that's cool, but we actually see something else as well. We see Falconia, where Griffith's located at, and we see Rickert, of all people. And him and Erica are going there because they can't stay in Goto's little grovel anymore, so they have to leave. And they go to Falconia and they meet Luca. They meet Luca from Conviction Arc and all of her associates, and they're basically taking care of each other for a little bit. Rickert went to go see Griffith because he basically got like a paper, a notice, like, yo, you can go visit Griffith, excuse me. You just need this. And so he goes there, he meets Griffith, and he sees him again after what happened at the end of Conviction Arc going into the beginning of Falcon of the Millennium Empire. So he sees him for the third time now, or excuse me, the second time now after the eclipse, and he's basically solidified his stance. He feels the same way that he does about, or that he does like Guts, where Guts and Rickert can't forgive him. They can't. So many people died because of him. And now he understands fully, like, yo, he wasn't there during the eclipse. He didn't see what Casca and Guts saw. But man, he does not like Griffith anymore. He knows, like, this is who he was, and this is who he will continue to be. There's no saving Griffith. There's no redemption. So he slaps him and he leaves. And everybody's like, "Dog, what did you do?" But Rickard just leaves. He's chilling, and Griffith actually shows restraint. But like, it's not like Griffith hasn't shown restraint before. But that's also coming from the same guy who did the thing in the eclipse in front of Guts. So it's like restraint isn't really what he's known for, but just Jesus, man, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that really happened. Like, excuse me, but yeah, so he didn't hunt him down. He didn't do anything, but he is still hunting him down because in secret he's doing it. He's having one of his attendants, one of the Kushan Empire people, hunting him down. One of the apostles, excuse me, one of the apostles, not one of the Kushan. So one of the Kushan assassins actually, who came after Guts during Golden Age, comes to help Rickert, comes to his aid, and Lucas is like, all right, well, I mean, we can take care of Erica if you want to leave her here, or if you want to take her, you can take her. But just remember, like, you're protecting someone else. You're fighting for someone else now. And Ricker's like, yeah, we're going. And Erica wouldn't let me leave her regardless, so I'm taking her with me no matter what. So the Kushan assassin who came after Guts a long time ago leaves with Ricker along with the attendant of what's his name? Ganeshka, I think is his name, the of the previous emperor from the Kushan Empire. The attendant also leaves with Rickert because he was one of the farm attendees in Luca's like area. So Rickert, Erica, the Kushan attendant, and the Kushan assassin, along with his attendants, leave to where the Kushan Empire truly resides. Like, not where Midland is, but elsewhere. So that's what we see of Rickert for the rest of the story up to this point, and I really enjoyed it. Rickert, honestly, one of my top three favorite characters of the entire story. I really enjoy him. Like, he reminds me of Judo, what he used to be, but Rickert is still his own person. They look similar, and I feel like that was on purpose. But Judo and Rickert, man, I really like Rickert. Man, it makes me want to do like a character tier list as well. But I don't know. But yeah, put it on record. Rickert is one of my favorite characters, and if I can't decide on who my favorite is, Rickert will be my favorite. So just don't worry about that. But yeah, so that's the end of that. Next, we go back to what's it called to Elfhome. Also, I forgot to mention, Griffith is still doing stuff on the side. It's not like this world is stagnant. Things are happening. So Griffith is going to war and doing stuff. He's united humanity, but they don't know the underbelly, or at the very least, the humans under him don't know. The apostles do know. They do know that this is a femto. But back to Guts. We're at Elfhelm and we're here. We meet the king of the fairies, who turns out to be the Nana or the Donna, I think. I don't remember, but she is actually the king of the fairies, and she knows about Guts and the new band of the Hawk, basically, which is just them, compared to the other band of the Hawk, which is the Griffiths one, but we don't talk about them. So he shows up and are like, "Yo, can you save Casca?" And she's like, "Sure, I'll save her, but you can't be there. Guts can't be there because he reminds Casca too much of what happened in the eclipse. His voice, his mannerisms, his actions, just him in general reminds Casca of the eclipse, so he can't be there." And Barney's and Shirkei instead go in his place. So they go into the world of dreams, and now they're going to look for Casca and try to rebuild her and help her, trying to re-assimilate Casca into Elaine, basically. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I like well, I like how they built Elfhome, where it's such a nice place. It feels like the mansion that uh, Flora had in the beginning of Falcon of the Millennium Empire, and it feels so nice. Like it feels like an expanded version of that, where we see everybody that would have been there if Flora was still in Elfhome, because that's where she originates. Because fairies, elves, and just overall mythical creatures dwell in Elfhome. It's not just the fairies, and it's actually so cool. It expands the world so much and gives us so much context and lore, and just overall interesting side bits that you wouldn't really see in other stories. It's awesome. It's generally awesome, and then it expands on our characters as well. Like Serpico, he gets greeted immediately because he has the glyphs, the wind glyphs that are in his coat. You have Roderick, who stays on the ship, basically just taking care of everything, along with the mermaids that are with him. You have Shirkei and Farnes, who are immediately welcomed because they're both witches, but some of them are like, "Oh, she seems like a novice," blah 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 blah, and then they show like, "Yo, because of battle, we've grown more attuned to magic, to the world of magic," and that's really cool. It expands on what they've gone through, and it builds on that, showing like we've had to develop ourselves faster than what you guys had, because you guys haven't seen conflict. You guys have lived in peace, and that hasn't brought any urgency, you know. So that I like that distinction between them. But you have Isidro and Isma, who are just having a fun time, laughing, enjoying themselves. Isma, being a Mero, or excuse me, a mermaid, she's getting acclimated really fine. It's super easy for her to get acclimated. Isidro's just being a dog, being a genuine dog. Like that man. Oh man, there's a scene in the future that I'll mention with Isidro, but he's hilarious, genuinely hilarious. He is like the shonen pro tag that we do not get, and it's so funny. But Guts himself is the one that isn't getting acclimated because he can't, and it's because he can't be near Casca. The one time that she's getting her help, he can't be near her, and he hasn't been able to be near her for a long time now, and it's just like he's just there by himself. But one scene that does happen that I did want to mention, which is the whole point of this rant, was Serpico and Roderick. They come together. They're drinking. They're having merriment, and they're just having a fun time. They come together. They go over to Guts, and they're like, "Yo, let's have a chat, bro. Men's only." So it's Roderick and Serpico and Guts, and they're all just talking, right? Serpico's talking about how Guts changed Lady Farnes, and at first he wanted to kill him for it, but then he got acclimated to what this group is like, and he got used to it, and he accepted Farnes' change for the better because she's the most Farnes she's ever been. She's not. It's not like what she was like in Conviction. She is completely different, and we all like her for it now, or not. Well, not we all like her, but more like she's the best she's ever been, basically, and he thanks him for it, basically. Roderick, on the other hand, is like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I want woman. I want sea, and I want booze. Like if I don't die drowning in wine, in woman, or in the sea, it's not a life for me. And then Serpico's like, dog, I think yeah, too much to drink, Captain. Guts, he's just like, man, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. He's waiting for to see what happens with Casca. But now we go over to the other side. What's going on with Casca? Where we see her we see her going to sleep, and Farnice and Shirke are basically sent out by the Elf King to be like, yo, just go in there, find what's causing the problem, and try to fix it, or at the very least mend it for now. And so they go into Casca's dreams. We see some funny scenes like Farnice tending to Guts' armor and Serpico's clothes. And then just we see Shirke on the other hand just having a nice dream. It's hilarious. But then they go over to Casca's dream, where we see Elaine at first, where it's the simple drawings and she's just a normal sweet girl. And then you go to Casca, where the eclipse is everywhere, basically. It's dark, it's scary, and it's terrifying. So we see Casca in a casket, in a little casket of a doll that is meant to be her, and they're meant to rebuild her. Guts is there, but he's a dog, kind of like resembling his armor, and he's dragging Casca, protecting her basically. And they have to go through, piece together Casca's memories from the Golden Age and even before that, and just seeing what happened. And they go through, they do that, and they see all of the horrible memories that happened, all the good ones. We even see the campfire, or excuse me, the bonfire of dreams, which really felt so nostalgic to see, because it feels like it's been an eternity since we've seen something like that. And for me, it's only been like 3 months, because it's been since like December, so that's just crazy to think about. But man, it feels so good to see it again. They go through though, they see all the golden age dreams, and then we get to the end of it where we see the eclipse. And by the way, they've been fighting through this entire thing. They've been going through her dreams for so long. It feels like it's been years since they've been doing it. They go through and they fight a bunch of things. They have all these basically like fetishes to help them fight against the demons inside of Casca's heart. Like Serpico's cloak, she had, or Shirke has all the golems and all of them, and they're just using all these to fight. And then they get to the final part of Casca's heart that they need to rebuild, and it's the part where the eclipse happened and Griffith did the thing to her, and Guts had to watch. So they're there, and they have to fight him. They basically have to take down the hawk, while Guts is the dog, and Guts gets the berserk armor from Farnese because she was actually cleaning it, and now it's Guts' dog, and he's fighting Falcon, or I guess Hawk Griffith. So they're fighting and all that. They manage to beat him, or at least take him down for now, and they get Casca's heart, and they see everything. They see what happened, all the horrifying things, and they understand now why she's like this, why she was broken. So one day I'm gonna be able to record, and not a single person will interrupt me. It's gonna be truly a wonderland of dreams. It's gonna be awesome. So we rebuild Casca's heart, and they leave. They basically leave the dreams, and everybody wakes up. The Elf King is waiting for them, and she's like, "Oh, you guys have been in there for years, but it's only been like a day since you guys have left. So don't worry, time hasn't passed, or time hasn't passed dramatically at the least." And so they wake up, and lo and behold, we see Casca. Casca, basically from the Golden Age up until her mind was shattered, we see her awake again, and Elaine is, she isn't gone. It's more like she's become a part of Casca. Like Casca saw what happened through Elaine's eyes. It's not like she was gone. It's just she wasn't able to do anything as Casca. But now Elaine is a part of her, and Casca is back, basically. So she's here. You can tell by the art style change as well that it's Casca, because her eyes change. They're not as soft or as youthful or as innocent. You can see it's Casca. And so she's there, and everybody's excited. We see everybody get to meet Casca. They understand like, yo, Casca knows how to fight. Like she's real, and that she's cool. She's fire, and everybody's getting to meet her. Serpico, Farnese, Shirke, Isidro, Puck, Evalera, what's his dude's name? All of them basically. and or Isma as well. And Guts, he goes to see her, but she has a mental collapse again, and she can't handle seeing him, like we said before. So Guts can't really interact with her, or at the very least look at her. So they 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 can't be together, which truly painful. Like Guts has just been going through it ever since Kafka's been awake, and it's out of his control. It's generally out of his control and out of Kafka's control as well. Like it just hurts to see wholeheartedly. Like when it seems like Guts is finally able to be happy and he's getting what he's wanted, being able to let go of the rage that he held for Griffith, or at the very least, forget about it and just look at what he has now, things just always come to bite him in the back. And it hurts. It genuinely hurts. But there's always hope at the end of the tunnel. Miura makes sure to have that. So Guts can't interact with her, and it hurts him. It generally hurts him. You can see the pain in his face when he sees it. I'll be honest with you guys. I've been trying to record this single part of this video for like 10 minutes now. I keep getting interrupted. I'm so frustrated. It's so crazy. But let me just try and finish it. So Casca, after she wakes up, she meets everybody. She gets acclimated with Elfham, and they're just having a good time. She cuts her hair, and she's back to what she was. She was back to the consciously like aware Casca that we know, and it's awesome. It's honestly great seeing what she ended up like after the end of Golden Age, and like almost 300 chapters later, just seeing her back to what she used to be, at the very least evolved from what she used to be. It's it's awesome. It's unlike a feeling I can explain honestly, because you've been here seeing Guts suffer and just trying to bring her back, and now that she's here, it's unreal. It doesn't feel like it's real. We actually made it. We brought her back, and it's awesome. It's genuinely unmatched, and it sucks that he doesn't get to participate in it, but at the very least he got his wish granted, and she's here. She's genuinely here. It's awesome. But now they're all getting acclimated. The kid who always shows up when Guts is just in a pinch, basically, like I don't remember if it was with the trolls, or I don't remember the first time, I forgot. But they did show up the first time. It was on the beach. It was on the beach. The kid shows up, and then you have the second time where they show up on the ship on their way to Alfheim, and then he shows up again in Alfheim. And Shirke is like, oh, it's probably like a vassal of the Elf King. Like, oh, they're just projecting themselves onto the kid, and they were used as a way to spy on us, to show like, oh yeah, are they worthy or not? But then the Elf King shows up, and she's just like, oh, how you guys doing? And it turns out it's not her. It's just a random kid. And so we know like this is Kosuke and Guts' kid, at the very least we think. And now he's here and everybody's happy. It's such a blissful time. We're all getting along. We're having a good time. It comes with its caveats, but this is the best that Berserk has ever been in terms of hope. And it's immediately crushed because Guts and the little kid are outside in the moon together. And it turns out that the little kid is Griffin. He shows up and he's the little kid. So Guts immediately is enraged. Like his fury, his rage, his unbridled anger is just unleashed, and he goes to swing at Griffith immediately. But Griffith isn't affected. He isn't getting hurt. Nothing is happening. And Guts now is just like, what? What do I do? Like, my sword isn't working, and he's defeated. He's basically defeated in a mental sense, because Griffith doesn't even touch him, let alone acknowledge him. He just goes over to Casca, and he takes her completely. And there was such a crazy scene, or excuse me, not crazy, crazy, where Casca and Shirke go to see what's happening with Guts, and they see Griffith. Casca's unbridled fear and trauma comes back, and she's just unconscious. And you have Shirke, who, after seeing Casca's dream, feels that same unbridled fear. And because Griffith is here, he brought everybody. He brought Zod, and just they're basically burning down Alfheim. They're they cut Alfheim into two, and it's chaos, complete chaos. The island is basically being destroyed, like the Elf mansion with Flora, but not like where it's deliberately being destroyed. It's Griffith being there. It's causing the island to just implode. Like it's crazy. It's hard to describe, but it's pure pandemonium. And Griffith takes Casca and he leaves with Nosferatu Zod. And all that's left is just a broken guts and a destroyed elf home. The Danana or Dadana, I think she's like, all right, we have to go, we have to leave. Like we can't stay here anymore, and she leaves. She takes Isma with her and all the fairies and all of them, all the mythical creatures, and they leave, leaving behind all the witches and sorcerers, and just them to fend for themselves. Not like as in like, oh, we were not helping you humans anymore. Like no, it was more like as a self-defense mechanism because the island was destroyed. They left. I don't even think that they left by their own volition too, because the Donna didn't seem like she was averse to conflict, and it's just crazy. But yeah, they had to leave, and now they're they're just there. Roderick is housing everybody from the island on the ship, and Farnese, Serpico, Shirke, Isidro, Ivolera, Puck, and Modora or Modera. I forgot her name, but the witch with the black hair, who's surprisingly like a lot older than everybody else there. Not like an adult, but like early 20s from what it seems like. I don't know. It's weird, weird situation, but she's there and she just gets Farnese to help her heal everybody who's injured on the ship. And Shirke has to go look for Guts because he's on the fringe of a mental break. Like that man is gone. He's completely gone, and that's where it ends. Shirke trying to go look for Guts, but he's just gone. He's cooked. That's the last chapter that is currently out for Berserk. It came out, I think, October or August. I don't remember, of 2022. But that's what's out right now. And I forgot to mention, Skull Knight actually showed up again during Elf Home. He showed up to see what Guts was doing and just all of them meeting all the people that know him. And it's basically just like, yeah, Skull Knight is King Geyser. They don't confirm it, but they keep calling him King. And it's just like, yeah, this dude is King Geyser. There's just no way. Like, ever since from the start, we've known, like, yo, Skull Knight is King Geyser, but if it isn't clear now, like, it's definitely clear for sure. But yeah, he's definitely King Geyser for sure, and he's just there, and and Guts gets to witness his memories, get to witness Skull Knight's memories, and it was terrifying. It was just basically what Guts went through. It was like a eclipse of his own, and it shows why Skull Knight has so much beef with Void, and it's because he was one of the people that was there when he witnessed his lover die. And Flora is actually connected to Skull Knight because she was friends with Skull Knight's lover, who was her teacher basically, and that's why he knows them so well and all the people of Elfhome. And he leaves basically once it's all done, once everything's said and done, and now everybody's just left there with the pieces. And that's again where everything left off or leaves off. And man, I cannot explain the pure hollowness I felt when I saw Alfham basically be destroyed. Like everything was going so good. It's like Golden Age all over again. Everything was going so good, and then at the drop of a hat, the snap of a finger, it's destroyed completely by the same man every single time. Griffith. It's so crazy. Like, how do you make an antagonist that's this like I don't even know if like evil is the right word to encompass what this man is. He's a monster, like genuinely a monster. There's no like human bone in Griffith left anymore, even though he betrays it in Falconia. Like you see him advocating for orphanages to be built, but that kind of like gets you to drop your facade to realize like, yo, Griffith, nah, he's still the same guy. Nothing's changed. He's still the same Griffith that caused the eclipse, the same one that tried to strangle Guts when he was in the caravan, the same one that caused the Band of the Hawk to disband because of his own selfish desires to feel power again. Griffith is a monster, but he's really well written. Miura really knew how to write a character. The same way that he knew how to write Griffith, he knew how to write Guts because this is the lowest we've ever seen him. Like, I think the lowest besides that was like the Eclipse, but that was standing like, oh my goodness, what is there to come? But this, like, mentally, this is the lowest that we've ever seen Guts. It's crazy. It's genuinely crazy to see him like this. And there's just no other words to describe it, at least in my vocabulary. Like, I don't know how to feel. I'm finishing Berserk, at least catching up to it, doesn't like I don't know how to feel. I want to keep going, but at the same time, how when will it finish? You know, I don't know. And that's scary. But at the very least, one thing's for certain, I'm glad I read it. I am so glad I read this manga. And I'm gonna save my feelings for the entirety of the series for another a video, probably like one of the last Berserk videos I do for like a good while. But I'm so glad I read it. Fantasia is wholeheartedly looking to be my favorite arc of the entire series. And there's the best arcs, and then there's my favorite arcs. I always separate them because, like, it's like a sports debate, right? Where who's the best player of all time? I don't care. I mean, you can say Michael Jordan, LeBron James, whatever. It's whatever. Me, my favorite player is Derrick Rose. Like, my favorite is not always going to be the best, and that's just how it is. That's how I always treated it. Like, because I don't care, you know, like who the best is doesn't matter to me. I'll say who it is, looking at it like factually unbiased, but my favorite is always going to be my favorite, even if they are the same or they're not. And for Berserk, Golden Age is not my favorite. It was, but it no longer is. And I'm gonna make a tier list on that in the next Berserk video I do. And I'm gonna try to clarify some opinions I have on the arcs that I've read up to this point, because now after having read everything, I feel like I know where I stand on certain things. And if I ever reread the arcs, my opinions may change the same way like One Piece did. But right now, I feel like I know how I want to say this. But yeah, overall, I don't know how many Berserk videos I will make. I want to make what's necessary. I don't want to stretch it out and be like, why Ricker is actually the strongest and best character in Berserk, why he can take on Griffith when he was Femto. And it's just like, nah, I don't want to do that. It sounds boring and whack. But I want to make the videos that I feel like I want to make, that I have enough substance to make, and that I deem necessary. Like, oh, maybe I will make a video on like who's my favorite Berserk character, or a video about the world building and just stuff like that. I like stuff that comes to me and that I feel like is worth being a video. I will make, but I don't want to extend it and drag it on and like, oh, Berserk video number 67. Why is this here? I don't know, but overall, to nip that in the bud, just like videos will be coming soon for this. Just don't worry, we're not done with Berserk just yet. But I I'm so glad that I've been able to do this, to read it, and just thank you guys for watching it along with me and watching the videos, because this was honestly an experience unlike any other. Also, I forgot to mention, thank you guys for 50 subscribers. And I, like, it sounds small, and you know it is. But at the same time, think about it in the scale of a person, right? 50 people in one room, like that's no heavy feat. Like, that's two classrooms of people that each have 25 people. Like, that's kind of like a lecture hall, like half of a lecture hall. I think that's so fire. So thank you all for watching. As always, like, I genuinely appreciate everything that you guys do for me and everything that I'm able to do for you guys. I know you guys comment it sometimes where like my videos help sometimes in situations that might be rough. So thank you, and I hope that we can just keep going together. Hopefully we can get to 100 subs. Hopefully, just like getting there, period, whether it's next year or 5 years from now, because it took like 2 to 3 years getting here. So hopefully we can get there faster. I wanna have the energy and, like, I guess pride to get there, but I don't want to push it. I don't want to push my luck and like feel like, yeah, I'm only doing this for the numbers. Like, no, you know, like, this is my passion. I want to do this. So I'm just very excited to keep going. And overall, again, thank you for 50 subscribers. The train is just gonna keep on going. Okay, but let me just finish the video. So thank you all for watching. Thank you again for 50 subs. I know I've mentioned it a lot, but I'm genuinely just grateful. Again, may not seem like a lot to people looking in on the inside, but I've been doing this for so long that I'm happy that the effort I'm trying to put in is paying off. Even if even if it's just now, like the beginning, I'm so thankful. Thank you to Reaper for Life, Surge. You know, you guys see him all the time in the videos. He's always there. He's helping me out. It's awesome. Go check him out. I'll put his channel in the description. And just overall to my family, to my friends, just always helping me out, keeping me grounded. And I know it sounds like I'm taking it overboard, but no, like I want to just be thankful. You know, I want to appreciate what I have while I still have it, right? Because Berserk has taught me something like a loss. Hey, it can come for anybody, no matter how good or bad you've been in life. And it's just like, shoot, man. Yeah, I want to appreciate what I have now, the hope that I still have. So, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.